Good Tuesday morning to you. I hope that you have had a great weekend, and I hope you had a great start to your week. We had an absolute blast yesterday driving around Mount Vernon, Enola, all the way to Cabot and to Rosebud, just passing out gifts to our seniors. We did have some houses that we just simply could not find, whether the address that we had was wrong or Google just doesn't know Mount Vernon like they think they do. So we'll wait till graduation in July that we're so looking forward to. So glad that the school decided to do that. But we'll hand some of those out in July. But we're so proud of you seniors and all that you have accomplished, especially through this COVID-19 mess, that you've able to keep your heads up and have a positive attitude as best as possible during this time. This morning I want to look at something that I've dealt with personally in my life, and that's something I can hopefully encourage y'all to quit doing in your life, and that's procrastination. And I want to read this quote by Stephen Lawson. He's an expositor. He's a preacher of the word. He's written many different books. Very wise man. And I just want to read this quote that I shared to my personal Facebook and Instagram yesterday. He says this: "The road to hell is paved with not good intentions like we're used to hearing, but he says the road to hell is paved with procrastination." He says the path to heaven is marked by urgency. Guys, can I tell you, we don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't know how long this COVID-19 is going to last, how long quarantine is going to last. The light at the end of the tunnel seems to be closer than it's been in recent days. So we look forward to those days coming. But we just simply don't know how our lives are going to pan out. And so often we put things off. So often we procrastinate. Now, the best way I know to define the word procrastination is this: why do today what you can do tomorrow? You know, I used to jokingly say that. Why should I do this today when I can just do it tomorrow? When I was in high school, I would procrastinate all the time with my schoolwork. I still have a problem with that in college now. Sometimes I'll put things off. I try and prioritize things, and a lot of times schoolwork, for whatever reason, kind of gets pushed back a little bit. Then I find myself trying to make deadlines and having a pile of work to do. But why do you think Steve Lawson thinks the road to hell is paved with procrastination? Because that seems like a pretty big step from, I'm just going to put things off. I still get them done, but I'm just going to put them off, to saying that the road to hell is paved with that. That's a pretty bold statement. But Steve Lawson didn't come up with that. And I believe he'll probably be the first person to tell you, hey, that's not my original thought. I believe he got this from the book of James. I've met Steve Lawson before. I can't say I know him personally because he wouldn't recognize me. But I've sat in some of his teachings before. And I believe, as a great studier of the word, that he got this quote that he said from the book of James. So I want to read a few verses to you. It's James chapter 4. It's the ending of this chapter. So James chapter 4, we're going to start in verse 13. It says this: "Come now, you who say today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year and trade and make a profit." Verse 14, "Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. If the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." So this is my warning first. James says that procrastination is a sign of arrogance. You know, and when you think about it like that, it's very true. When we say, oh, I'll get that done later, we're being arrogant to the point where we think, oh, well, tomorrow I'll have time to do it. Tomorrow won't bring its own problems. I have enough ability, I have enough time to do what needs to be done today, tomorrow. It's very arrogant for us to say that. Now, we don't realize it sometimes. Oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And we don't realize the arrogance in that statement. But when we strip it apart, when we take a step back and just think about the words that we're saying, we can see the pridefulness in those sayings. We can see how it could be conceited for us to believe that tomorrow's just going to be fine. James says our life is but a vapor. He's quoting King Solomon from Ecclesiastes. You know, our time on earth is numbered. Our days are numbered. We don't know what tomorrow brings. Don't put off what God is calling you to do just because you believe that you'll have plenty of time to do it in the future. And I'm not talking about death from this earth per se, but I'm saying that we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what kind of challenges we're going to face tomorrow. We don't know what kind of situations we're going to face tomorrow. If God is calling us to do something, He is calling us to do it now. He is calling us to take that step of faith. But so often we come up with an excuse like, well, God, I will do what you're calling me to do when I know more Bible verses. And what's the problem? Well, we say that and then we don't attempt to learn any Bible studies. We're just using that as a crutch. We're using that as an excuse to not do what God is calling us to do. Oh, I would do that if I was a better leader, God. Oh, I would do that if I was a better speaker. Hey, Moses tried that one. God, why are you calling me? I can't speak. And what did Moses do? He allowed God to use him in a great and mighty way. So whatever excuse, whatever reasoning that you have to not follow God's will in your life, can I say God will and God can use you in whatever capacity He is calling you to. He's not going to call you into something that He's not going to equip you to do. That's simply not true. But so often we rely on our own understanding. We rely on our own capabilities. And when we do that, we don't allow God to use us. And we find ourselves just coasting through life, procrastinating what God is calling us to do. My encouragement, my challenge is this, that we live with that urgency, that hell is real, because it is. And what's urgent about that is that people die and spend eternity in hell. While so many Christians are content with living lives that don't point people to the cross. Let's not procrastinate. Let's not wait to tell people about the great grace of Christ. COVID-19 might have us quarantined, but that doesn't keep us from sharing the love of God. Whatever the future holds, God is in it. Hold on to that truth. Hold on to the truth that God has called you, believer, to go and make disciples. Whether you're in the construction field, whether you're in the medical field, whether you're in the ministry field, okay? Whether you're in school, whether you're in a law firm, whether you're in a corporate business, all these places are ministries. All these places are mission fields. God has put you where you are to witness in your mission field. Electrician, you can witness to your coworkers. Doctors, nurses, you can witness to your patients and to your coworkers. Use where God has put you for His glory. Don't put it off to a day that's unknown. What God is calling you to do, He is calling you to do now. Live knowing that God has purpose, God has a plan for you. And go and make disciples each and every day. Go and encourage your neighbor each and every day. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Do it today. Whatever God is calling you to do, let's do it today. I love you, and I'll see Shed students on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock for Shed Live. Have a great, great day.